nothing other than my own journey through, like, I went and hit the rock bottom of depression.
Mm.
And I had days when I did not want to wake up the next morning. It was like that intensely painful.
Hello, and welcome back to all my Courage, Confidence, and Connections podcast fans. Thank you for joining us. I'm Janice Debo, your host. My guest today, and hopefully I told her I don't want to butcher her name, Anjana Nambissan. I think I nailed it. Did I nail it?
You got it perfectly. Thank you so much, Janice.
Well, welcome to my show. I'm delighted we finally connected and made this work. It only took a few months, right? But we did it.
Yes, that's true.
Yep. They say the best things are worth waiting for, and I believe this is. Thank you.
Yes.
Now,
Good to you.
where are you coming to us from?
I am in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh,
I know, I know. I feel that.
brutally hot down there. I was there in May quite a few years ago, and it was hot, but then the staff, the wait staff at the dinner table said, "Oh no, this is nothing. It gets to be a
May is pleasant. Yes, May is like very pleasant for us. Like we are hitting the like really peak, like June and July. Like, yeah,
mm,
it's climbing still.
yeah, it gets warm in Oregon, but nothing like
Yeah,
Arizona. But I tell you what, I
yeah,
think Arizona is a beautiful state. If you can tolerate that heat.
yes. Yeah, these few months, it's like very peak summer, but other than that, it's beautiful.
Oh, well,
Winters
now,
are never bad.
okay, where are you originally from? Your name is
I'm
very
from
unique.
India.
You're from
Thank
where?
you. I'm from India.
Okay,
Yeah,
wonderful. How long have you been in the US?
since 2006. So
Okay.
almost 20 years now.
Oh, we're on the anniversary year. Okay, that's great. Now,
Yes,
so you were born and raised in India.
correct. Yes.
What was it like growing up there?
Hmm. Yeah, the thing is, that's the only thing I knew, right?
Yeah, that's true. I get that.
Yeah. So there are like many levels of expectations placed on us, like
Mhm.
from our parents, from the society, and being a girl means totally different thing
Mhm.
over there. Like that's what I see. And there are so many rules, right? We have to live according to other people's expectations and people pleasers. That is how we are raised. It's not like as an option.
Oh.
Yeah, we are raised as people pleasers. It's like
Huh.
mandatory. So the thing is, like, I grew up like meeting all of the expectations of my parents, and even like I was trained to be the good girl, if you know what I mean, the good girl,
Good girl.
wherever I go, right? So that's how I grew up. And I did my engineering degree in computer science.
Okay.
And and this is all, again, there is like a set rules. Like, either I had to become like a doctor or an engineer, and there is not even a third choice. So,
Oh.
but yes, so I became an engineer because I was like lazier on the studies side. So that was the easier path. But at the same time, I wanted to be a dancer from the age that I remember. I think like 5 or 6 or something. I started dreaming of becoming a dancer. So that is, it never happened. I still dance like here and there just for my own happiness as an adult, but it never happened like my dream. So after, and then again, like I don't know if you're familiar with like an arranged marriage concept. Have you
Yeah.
heard about that?
Oh my goodness, yes. I
Yes.
can't even imagine. So did you have to get married in an
Yes.
arranged marriage? Oh
Yes, I did. And even the age when we get married, that is all already prescribed.
my goodness.
So like I got married when I was 23, and yeah, my parents found my husband. Like they do like some horoscope matching,
Oh.
family matching, all those things, right? Then okay, this is the guy you're gonna marry. Shut up and marry. That's it. No questions asked.
Shut up and marry.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it. No questions asked, no comments required. That this is your life. Go for it.
oh,
So yeah. And my husband, like he is also from India. He grew up there like till his early 20s, but he decided to come here. for his master's. He went to ASU. So, and he started working here. That is the reason, like, as soon as we got married, I am here. So, yeah,
Oh, so you're still with him. Okay.
I am still with him. We are about to celebrate our 20th wedding anniversary very soon.
Wow. That is such a different lifestyle than in America that
Yep.
there are people who would probably be better off if if they did have an arranged marriage like that. They might last longer than some of we've got a really high divorce rate here. So
Mm,
some of us don't choose well.
that is true. And like now looking back, like with the life experience and like the wisdom I gained over the years, now looking back, I don't think I would have had the courage to choose somebody by myself. It feels like such a scary thing now that I talk to like many women too. There is a huge level of fear around like going out there and finding somebody. How do we trust somebody just like that? Forget about living with that person for the rest of our lives, right? Right? So I'm glad in a way that my parents actually did that for me. Otherwise, I don't think I would have made that choice.
I hear you. I was married 3 times, now divorced for the third time,
Yeah.
and I didn't choose well. I mean, just to be very candid, I did not choose well. The first time was a high school sweetheart. Now, when you're a teenager, you don't know up from down, back from forth. You don't know what love is. You're not mature
Mm,
enough to make those choices. And my dad did say something kind of wise before we got married. He goes, well, you're making your bed, so you're going to have to lie in it. Well, that lasted 10 years, but um, truly, it it is scary. Now, no, I tried dating after the third. Yeah,
mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I watched too many true crime movies or true crime documentaries. So,
Yes.
so I kind of get a taste of, oh, it is dangerous out there. I think I'll just live by myself for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, it's a very tempestuous world, and I don't know. I've had some decent relationships, but and some of my
Mhm.
best friends are men. But I don't
Okay.
know that I want to venture down that road again. Woo. But
Right.
okay, so you gained a lot of wisdom, and it's really interesting that you reflect back on like I don't think I would have gotten married if I had to choose for myself. And I can imagine. And by the way, I think India is it's a beautiful country. I've watched one of my favorite movies, actually two of them is a series, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Um,
Okay.
the colors and the
Oh,
dancing,
yeah.
you said dancing. Oh, it's just amazing, amazing. And a good
Yeah.
friend of mine does belly dancing. So she's kind of in the, oh,
Sweet.
yeah, oh, yeah, she teaches it too. It's fascinating. The style of dance in India
Mhm.
is it draws you in and has a
Mm.
deep romantic feel to it, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah. For sure. Yes, it does.
That's great. Did you guys have
Mhm.
kids before you moved here, or have you have kids now?
I do. I have two girls. Both are teenagers.
Oh boy.
Yeah. They both were born here. Two
Oh,
teenage girls. It's fun. Like I love it. But they also gave me a amazing opportunity to learn and grow as a person. So no complaints. I love them now like so much. They're amazing.
oh,
Now I get to have so much more fun with them instead of just learning every single day, which was not that fun. You know what I mean?
that's great. But your perspective, as you coach women, especially since you were raised in the culture in India where marriages were arranged, the whole thing is so different. But now you're raising two girls who are going to want to get married, maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I would
If
think
they
that,
are ready for it, I'm not gonna force on them for sure.
oh,
If
good.
they are ready, when they find the right person and when they feel okay, that is the right thing, I will be there to support them like 1,000%. But I don't want to be the person to tell them you have to marry now and you have to marry this person. I will not do that.
Oh, I applaud you. But your perspective is broad and wise. I will say that you've got a lot of wisdom. So let's venture back where you got a degree in engineering. Now, you
Yeah.
said you were lazy, so you didn't want to be a doctor. Well, let me tell you, I know engineering is not easy. I mean, my first husband was studying to be an engineer, never quite made it through. But
Okay.
so I experienced watching somebody go through that. You couldn't have been lazy to become an engineer. You couldn't have been. I guarantee it.
I mean, that was my take on that. My sister was a doctor, and I was expected to be a doctor too.
Oh.
And from the time, she is like 8 years older than me. So from the time that I remember, she was like such a studious person. She was a bookworm. We could call her that. And every single moment I see her, she'll be studying. And
Mm,
she became a doctor and like a gynecologist. I'm so proud of her. But I did not want to like put my entire life in front of books. That is not me.
mm.
So compared to that, engineering was
That's-
definitely like a much easier thing to do. And even if don't do anything throughout the semester, just like few days before the semester exam, if I manage to study, I could get through.
Oh, well, that's true. And as a doctor, they do have to go through more. You didn't have to go through an extra 8 years of schooling to
No,
become an
no, just
engineer.
4 years and I was done.
Well,
So much easier.
when I was in college, I was studying to be a speech therapist, and then I found out in order to really do anything with it, I would have to get at least a master's and preferably a PhD. And
Yes.
I did the same thing. I'm like,
Wow.
no, 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 no.
Way too much.
I was a good student, really good honor roll. I mean, I was really good, but I thought about 8 more years or six, and I'm like, no. So I can relate to that. I totally
Yeah.
can. Now, my show is Courage, Confidence, and Connections. I'm
Yes.
really curious if you can tell a story or two about your life growing up or recently where
Mhm.
courage and confidence has played into your life or had a part. And we don't usually know we're being courageous when we're being courageous. It's rare. As I found, I look back and go, "Yep, that was pretty courageous." But at the time, it felt like gut wrenching. Is there,
Yeah.
yeah, has there been a time that you can recall? I'm a storyteller, Anjana, so I got to get that name, Anjana, Anjana.
And you got it. You got it, Janice.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm a storyteller and I like
Yeah.
hearing people's stories. So do you have a story of courage and confidence in your life?
I think that's the only thing in my story.
That is the whole thing.
The one thing that I would say for sure is like just facing our own emotions
Mm,
and like working through that, understanding the thoughts behind it, like the patterns behind it, what all things that we are carrying from childhood as like limiting beliefs and patterns and generational trauma and everything, right? That itself, in my opinion, like there is nothing more courageous than going through that journey.
yes.
And for me, like the reason like I am a coach right now, helping people with their emotional wellness is nothing other than my own journey through like I went and hit the rock bottom of depression.
Mm,
And I had days when I did not want to wake up the next morning. It was like that intensely painful.
mhm.
And there was no way I could talk to anybody about it. And I was taught to just like put a beautiful smile on my face and just like mask it. All the pain is masked. So nobody in my life knows what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I was going out and like working and like earning a salary. And I had these two beautiful babies and actually everything, all the material things that we can think of. Like I have a beautiful home, like beautiful marriage, nothing to complain. But the emotional side was extremely low. That is why I had to go through that much pain.
Hmm.
But instead of like putting an end to it or starting an antidepressant, thank God, like there was like definitely a divine intervention. So I was guided to work with a life coach. I'm talking about at least 10 years back, 10 or 12 years back. So I started working with her and she really helped me through. Like she taught me how to understand my thoughts and patterns and connecting the dots between childhood experiences and the adult experiences, the reasons I was feeling rejected, whether that is with my husband or like the competition, the crazy world that is in the corporate America,
Mm,
all those things. She helped me see the connections, like connecting the dots, right? She really helped me see that. And at that time, I did not know, like you said, like it was courageous. It was just like I didn't have another choice.
right.
I like, okay, I'm willing to do anything so I don't have to feel this painful. So that is the only reason I worked with her. I really 1,000% committed to feeling better.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is the courage that now I see it. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did I do all those things? Right?
Oh, yes. I am 100% on the same page. And
Yes.
I walk through stuff that when I read back in my old journals, I just shake my head and go, I don't know how I survived it. I don't know how I walked through those tough times and
Yes.
and lived because I had days I didn't want to stay on this earth. I
Mhm.
At the time I had a pet, no kids, but I had a pet, and literally he was the only reason I would even stay on this earth. I wanted to take care of him. And just so our audience knows, depression can affect anybody. It can be circumstantial. It could be
Mhm.
clinical, but frequently it is circumstantial. And and we have to finding somebody is what I did too. And I did a lot of my own work before I actually went to counseling. But I was in a really bad marriage, and I didn't a funny story for you is
Mhm.
I was getting my body worked on. The chiropractor's working on me, and she was we were just getting to know each other like within the first two or three appointments. And so I'm telling her about my life, and she stopped and said, "You don't have any boundaries." I mean, just like that. And I went,
Wow.
"What's a boundary? And what do you mean?" I literally was like a deer in the headlights. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, obviously I didn't have any then. So she hooked me up with my future counselor at that time and got
Okay.
me in a boundaries class. And I began to, and it made things worse in the house. So audience, just know that when
Mhm.
you go to make major changes, people may not always understand, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Like what is going on? Like everything seems so crazy.
You look, well, I liked you better before. So I was a people pleaser too. I think I pretty much recovered from it, but I don't know that you ever get 100%. However, I wasn't raised that way
Okay.
specifically in a culture, but
Mhm.
my father was a preacher, and I wanted attention. He just was emotionally disconnected. Uh, it was not possible for him to relate to kids, even though
Mm.
four of us. But but yeah, it doesn't matter how you're raised. You can wind up having these issues. That's why there's coaches like us to hold
Yes.
your hand, walk you through, and sometimes pop you on the backside if you're not, you know.
Yeah.
I've had to correct people not in a loving but firm way. Have you had to do
Oh,
that?
yeah. We have to, right?
Mhm.
We have to do that. It's not like we love them so much, so we have to like step into kind of like a parental role, change our tone, and like make it work so that they can step into their magnificence. They can let go of all these like people pleasing and like the lack of confidence and everything. They can really step into that beautiful, amazing being that they are.
Absolutely. I know. And I check up on some of mine periodically. I've got one that was
Mhm.
having a particularly tough time yesterday, and reaching out for that support just to say, "Are you okay?" Because I had so many people that were there for me through my tough stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
I, I I'm just so thankful. And I wasn't paying them. So
Yeah.
friends are invaluable, but we do need to warn you, not everybody's going to get you when you start changing,
Yeah.
especially if you're a
That's
people
true.
pleaser and you've been,
Mhm.
just like the golden retriever.
Mhm.
You've just been laying down, rolling over, and go, okay, what can I do for
Mhm.
you? And when you stop doing that and set a boundary, you're going to have to deal with some conflict probably, but
Oh, yeah, for sure. And to add to that, even while I was working through this, I was having these questions because, like, my entire, like, these many number of years, like 40 some years, I was only living as a people pleaser, doing everything for them. Have you read the book Fawning by any chance?
it's called
I
what?
read Fawning.
Mm.
That's the book. So it's apparently the fourth trauma response: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. The
Oh,
book is called like Fawning, and that is talking about like everything. It felt when I read that, it felt like that author saw me and she was writing my story in that book. And every single thing that I was doing was like that fawning response. It is like people pleasing and so many things, right? Staying in like a really painful situation
yeah,
and trying to adapt and trying to like do everything for the other person. So we are like kind of safe. We think we are safe, at
yeah,
least.
I think so.
So that behavior, and while reading, that was like a torture to see, like, oh my gosh, like this is how I lived my life. And then setting the boundaries and understanding, okay, now I want to behave differently. I
Mhm.
don't want to be the people pleaser. When there were questions, like within my own mind, like I was feeling, does this mean I am actually being a bad person? Am I hurting the other person, or am I just setting my boundaries and staying in my line, taking care of myself? Even that distinction felt really hard. It's not just the outside world. Yes, my husband notices it so much. My kids are noticing it, and the people outside are noticing it. And I'm saying no when I want to say no.
Yeah.
But that question, that debate is happening within my own head
Hmm.
as I was doing that work. It's very fascinating.
It is. It's not
Yeah.
easy. And growing,
Yeah.
getting out of those patterns and letting go of those limiting beliefs, it's not easy. And we're not going to
No,
paint that pretty picture and say, you know, it's not a Mary Poppins adventure.
no, it is not.
It takes time, it takes dedication, it's hard work. And I get all my clients a journal, and I'm like, you've got to
Mhm.
journal. You're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have to start writing. And some of them are just like, wow, this really helps. It does.
Yes.
It,
If they stick to it, if they are 100% committed to it, magic happens.
Mhm.
Within like weeks, magic happens. If they just have to be committed, that's it.
I know. And reading back over the years will help them see
Mhm.
if when you start thinking I haven't made any progress, then you go
Yeah.
back and look and went, oh, well, I guess I have.
Yep.
I guess I have. So I take it that you were in
Yep.
corporate America as an engineer,
Mhm.
and then you started dealing with all of this and hired a coach.
Yep.
Tell me about that journey and a little bit so our audience kind of gets the flow in your life, how that transition happened.
Okay. So when I started working with that life coach, I was like at the very bottom, right? I did not want to do anything in my life. Even with those two young babies that I had in front of me, I did not have any motivation to live my life. It was that bad.
Mm.
But when she started work, and like such a sweet coach, like she really had to work so hard. And we were talking at least once a week or more than that. He kept on training. And the best part was like she is like a spiritual coach too. So she was trying to give me like the understanding of how we are all like divine beings, and we are just given the opportunity to think and feel and everything as like a blessing and not as a curse.
Right.
And like, yeah, and like just journaling, every single day journaling. She introduced me to meditations, like every single day meditation, journaling. And there was like a lot of like numerous number of self-help books I was reading, and like YouTube channels I was watching, like about soul and like the emotional health, so many things. And gradually, and she introduced me right away into the shadow work too.
Oh,
It's like, okay, when we see like something that we don't like in somebody else,
Oh,
How is that impacting me? So that shadow work part, even way before I became a coach, I was introduced to that. And every single person I was having issues with, she would make me write the journal. I will be looking at it and I'll be, dang it, I don't want to say this, but this is part of me. So yeah,
that's
that
true.
was not, yeah, it was not a happy journey, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I am who I am right now, being here, doing what I'm doing with so much passion just because of that journey. So I wouldn't have it any other way. So yeah, and I worked with her at least for 5 years straight.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
She did a huge level of heavy lifting with me for me, and she taught me. And the beauty is like around like about that time, like about the end of 5 years, I started feeling lighter. And I'm like, huh, there is like nice things in my life I never saw before. And I can be grateful finally, right? Like
Mhm.
that gratitude and everything started like getting together, pulling together. And when I started feeling lighter, I'm like, okay, I cannot have gone through this much level of pain for nothing. There has to be a reason that I went through this much. And that made me think, oh, maybe what if there are other women out there who are going through this much pain and have no clue what to do about it?
Right.
I was never introduced to psychology as a kid or like while growing up. Never. I didn't even know the term life coaching existed when I was in that pain. Nothing.
Me either.
Right? And like going to a therapist or going to a psychiatrist or anything to do with mental health was such a big taboo.
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't even dare to do that at that time. It was so bad. And thank God, like everything happened the way it did, and the life coach happened. So when I started feeling lighter, I'm like, okay, let me do the same thing. Let me go and train myself to become a life coach and guide other women through this. That is like how I started this journey. The only thing that I started having as like a very burning desire when I started that journey was like, I don't want anybody to go through that for like such a long time.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring in that same level of impact in as short period of time as possible
Yeah.
because going through that pain is not fun.
Mm-mm.
And I really wanted. So that is why I went on like research mode actually for a very long time. And I ended up becoming like an NLP master practitioner and using quantum tools and hypnosis and everything. So
Good.
that, yeah, all of that in my toolbox right now, I can just deliver this level of in-depth healing. And I work directly with the unconscious mind too. So it's not like we have to just keep on saying the affirmations forever. It actually works instantly. So within weeks, like people are completely transformed.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love that. I really love that.
I do too, and I've been through a lot of that. I had a
Mm.
lot of my journey before I really got into that, but
Okay.
but my journey, my healing has expedited after I've been through some quantum healing,
Mhm.
a lot of energy healing over the years.
Yeah.
So there's a combination of things, but it doesn't have to take that long. I did over 3 years of counseling, and
Okay.
it was a step in the right direction, but it wasn't. Yeah, and then was the crash of the divorce, and things got worse as divorces can. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of women, and I work with confronting domestic violence. That's
Mm.
very big on my heart, and I'm on the board of directors because there are so many women that need help, and they don't know how to
Hmm.
get out of situations. They don't know how to get the help they need to be
Oh,
healed,
yeah.
even if they're not in that situation. So we all have, if you want to call it, skeletons in our closet, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all
No.
human, and we've all come up a different way, and so that's why we are coaches. I don't do the work she does. She does a lot of inner work. I work on the business side, but I do the mindset work because
Mhm.
you cannot pull your life apart and say this is business and that's personal.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you're a
That's all.
one whole thing. So,
Yes, we are.
what is
That's
the
so
name of
true.
your business?
Okay, I started with Daffodils Bloom as my LLC and Daffodils Bloom coaching. And now I'm transitioning into like owning my name and saying like transform your life with Anjana Nambissan.
Oh, that's see, I like that's why I use my name because it gives, you need that for marketing, but it
Yeah.
also it get people can identify with you as a person versus a friend of mine tried butterfly coaching and she wound up doing real estate instead. So,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, but not everybody's meant to be a coach. Not everybody can do
Mhm.
it. But when you've been through the mill like we have, we've got some experience. We've got the tools to help people.
Yes.
We really,
Mhm.
really do. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've had quite a journey. Um,
It was, it was. And the best part is like, since I went through like that journey and I know the pain of like going through and like the transitioning and transformation and everything, that gives us that extra depth of compassion towards any human being that we talk to.
mhm,
Because we see them like as the pure beings that they are and not their behavior
right.
and their level of pain, whatever they are going through, we can understand at a totally different level.
Hmm.
That ability to love at that level, I think that is such a big blessing. And that blessing came because of our journey, right? That
Exactly.
painful journey.
Exactly. And I believe we meet the right people at the right time. There are, and she works, Angela, you just work with women, right? Okay.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so if there are men watching this, I can connect you with coaches too that work with men. I'll work with men and women, but I don't work on that level. However, I've got a lot of contacts that work with everybody in the quantum healing. I've got a close friend who it was my first experience with a serious quantum healing last week, and I got to tell you, yeah, she recorded it, and I put myself back through it a few days later, and I'm like, man, I can hardly walk afterwards. It's like this is so
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it's
It
powerful.
is like we release the pain from the body at a cellular level. So it's not just like, even though it is just conversation on the outside,
Hmm.
we are pulling things from the cellular level. It's no joke. And after that, I have clients laying on the table, like, I can't move. Right after, because like we are releasing like 30, 40 years of whatever pain they are dealing with
Hmm.
using those quantum tools. It's magic. And they cannot move after that for maybe the rest of the day.
I know. It's really phenomenal, but that's where we are. And thankfully, we have those tools now.
Yes.
And we don't have to go through 5, 10, 20, 30 years of therapy. And
Yeah. Yeah.
we don't. I've gone through some generational healing too with a client. And
Mhm.
she's done it with me. I coach her business. She coaches me on the energy work. But
Okay.
yeah, we trade off. But it's really cool because her generational work has been very effective with me.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, and all that stuff is in our cells. A lot of people don't get it, they don't realize it. However, if you would talk to someone like Anjana, she will educate you and help you just pull that stuff out so you can be free. It's like we just take layer off a layer, gradually take off those layers.
Yes.
We are like onions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Onion peeling. It never ends.
And
But
never.
it gets better. The pain definitely gets better. Like, and we become much more confident and courageous. And we start seeing the courage and confidence that we have within ourselves. The way we show up changes. Our energy shifts. And people around us start seeing it. It's magic, pure magic.
It really is. I 100% agree. Well, before we wrap this up, Anjana, I always want my guests to share any final piece of wisdom, story, whatever you want to share to wrap this up. And then all of your information will be available after the podcast. So our
Okay.
audience can be in touch with you to get started on some healing or continue healing. So, do you have some words of wisdom or story or something you'd like to wrap us up with?
Definitely. I would love to.
Okay, go for it.
So, one thing that I want to tell to each and every one of you is dream. Keep your dreams big I know we completely forget about our dreams, like along the way, like life happened, situations happened, but your dreams are with you for a reason. You are the one to go after that dream. Nobody else in this world can go after that dream just like you do. Okay. So you are worthy of having that dream. And whatever is stopping you from doing that, they are like easy to be taken care of. Like we can just like release those easily, and you can easily go after that dream and claim that for yourself. And everything starts with loving yourself at a very deep level. Loving and accepting yourself for who you are, that itself opens the magical door to your dreams.
That's a perfect way to wrap us up. And we didn't even touch on self love, but that's a big part of this. So, audience, reach out to Anjana. And I'm really, her journey is just phenomenal, phenomenal. And
Yeah.
she can help you along your way. And should I say, it's not, might not be like the microwave, but it's closer than the oven. So it'll be
But
faster.
it's worth it. It's totally worth it. If
Mhm.
you're ready for that beautiful life, the shorter period of going through that discomfort is totally 1,000% worth it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Well, thank you for being on the show. If you would stay with me for a moment after we stop the recording,
yeah.
um, we'll wrap it up. Thank you, audience. Janice Debo signing off for my Courage, Confidence, and Connections podcast. And thank you again, Anjana, for being my awesome guest and helping our folks out there.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.